Alright farmers, welcome back to the channel. So today we've got some new mods to take a look at. So first up we got this in front of us. This is the water pack by Omatana, 0.63 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find these in the construction menu and under containers. So if we go in there, we'll scroll along. We've got these three here, so 500 each, and we've got the stone well, we've got the wooden pump and the fire hydrant. So we've got the fire hydrant there, wooden pump and then stone well. Now according to the website it says you get free water, so that's excellent. Obviously place this down nearby your pastures or your greenhouses. You haven't got to go all the way to the pond if you're on Elm Creek like me at the moment to get your free water, so that is excellent. Right, next up we've got the medium bunker silo set. This is by Meadow and this is 0.18 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find these in the construction menu again and then under silos. So if we go in there, so there you are, 40 grand each. So you've got the two options. You've got the first one with the squared off corners and then the second one with the arched corners. Arched corners, yeah, we'll go with that. They both hold 500,000 litres of chaff each. Place them down where you want to. Excellent. Right, next up is Farmhouse. Now this is by Camille, or it may be K4 Mil. It's K4MIL. Anyway, 1.07 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find this in the construction menu again and under farmhouses. So if we go in there and we'll scroll back along to find it, there we are. So 25 grand to buy. Obviously it is a sleep trigger, so you are going to need to sell your original house or doormat if you're using that, or tent or whatever you're using, because obviously you can only have one sleep trigger per map. So nicely detailed, sort of old school small farmhouse. That's alright, that is. Obviously you got the sleep trigger up the front there, and then you've got your dialogue box for your wardrobe, so if you want to go change your clothes, right there. That's alright, that is. Excellent. Right, next up we've got storage piles for earth, fruits and stones. This is by Zodel. I got this wrong yesterday. Zodelzocht. It's 0.86 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find these in the construction menu and under silos. So we'll scroll along to find them. There we are. So it's 25 grand each to buy. You got the four options. So you got the sugar beet pile storage, the stone pile storage, the potato pile storage, the beet pulp pile storage, and then the soil pile storage. Now obviously these aren't ones that you can go into and then buy it straight away. You have got to load it in yourself. But that being said, that's alright. That is, you know, there is one thing about the silos in the game: you can't store root crops in. So these are excellent. Very nice indeed. I mean, especially with the silage one. Obviously, if you're using it in one of the bunkers like we've already seen, then you're going to need somewhere to put it. Unless you just leave it in the bunker. That's alright, that is. Right, next up is the lime and beet pulp production. This is by Zodelzocht again, 1.07 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find these in the construction menu and under factories, because they're classed as a production chain. So we've got these two here, so it's 10 grand for the lime production and then 10 grand for the beet pulp production. So obviously the similar sort of style to the lime crusher we've already seen, but if we go into the menu, so for the lime one it's 4,000 stones and you get 2,000 lime out. So that's a bit more of a better ratio than the previous mod that we've seen. And then also in the beet pulp production, you can chop the sugar beet up with it. So obviously we can do that before already with that little bucket that goes on the front, but that takes ages. So you just chuck your sugar beet in this and it'll chop it up for you. Excellent. Obviously that'll save you a bit of time. Obviously you got a load of rocks on your soil. You get them off, make a bit of lime out of it, and then also chop up your sugar beet. Excellent. Right, next up we got the Meadow fence pack. This is by Cayman. It's 0.67 megabyte on the download. You're going to find these in the construction menu and under decorations. So you go in there, then fences. So we'll scroll along till we find it. So it's going to be all the way towards the end. There we are. So you got the gate is 1500 to buy, and then the fence is 100 per section. Open it up. Oh, whack myself with the gate. Ah, excellent. Obviously the barbed wire style. So you want to fence off an area for you. Excellent. Right, next up we've got Little Shelter. This is by Matej Mods. 6.62 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this in the construction menu and under sheds. So we'll scroll along to find it. Right, we'll go backwards. There we are. 25 grand to buy. Plonk it down. And then a little area for you to park your equipment or vehicles under. So there's no lights. It's just a little shed. Being said, it's alright. Nicely detailed. Yeah, that's alright, that is. More like a little bit of a carport sort of thing. Ah, very nice indeed. Alright, next up is the Fermentation Solo. This is by Omatana. It's 1.95 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this in the construction menu and under factories. So we'll go in there. We'll scroll along to find it. Or back the other way even. There we are. 30 grand to buy. You can put your chaff in, your hay and your grass. Now this is excellent. You can put all your stuff in and you'll get silage at the end of it because it's a production chain. So if you see there in the bottom right hand corner, I've just put 6,000 litres in and it's already making silage. So if we go into there, there we are. So 1,000 litres of grass will get you 1,000 litres of silage, 1,000 litres of hay get you 1,000, and 1,000 litres of chaff will get you 1,000. So that's excellent. Obviously it's going to take a bit of time for it running through its cycles, but that's it. You just mow your grass, do whatever, and then just dump it in a silo and it ferments into silage. That is excellent. Excellent. I do like that. Very nice. I think I might keep this one. Brilliant. Right, next up we've got Rake. This is by Puzzcap and Voxel. It's 0.98 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find this under tools and miscellaneous. Now, according to the website, it's using this rake you can easily and cheaply get rid of the unwanted straw from the field, leftover fodder in the barn, and all the other loose materials which are available in the game. Try not to make sudden and quick moves of the mouse with the rake, as it may fall out of your hand. This is a hand tool, just having a little bit of a clear up. So you've got a bit of a mess on the go. Get hold of this and have a little bit of a tidy up. Obviously the option that you got there is to change the colour. We'll put blue, so it changes the head of the rake. Other than that, it's 140 to buy as standard. So you've got a bit of a mess on the go. Get one of these, get a bit tidied up. Excellent. Right, next up we've got the barrel weights pack. This is by FBX Modding, 0.93 megabyte on the download, and as you can imagine it's going to be under weights. So we've got these two here. You've got barrel weight 1 and barrel weight 2. So barrel weight, put me teeth, that's hard to say. Barrel weight 1, 350 kilo for 800, and then barrel weight 2, I'm going to say it slowly, 500 kilo for 800. Now we're going to there. The only option is to change the colour, so we'll put that as purple. Obviously it attaches to your tractor, front or back. Ah, it's alright, that is. A little bit different from the weights. Looks a bit more do-it-yourself job there, doesn't it? Excellent. Right, next up we've got the Paladin skid steer bucket. This is by JDL Logging, 0.75 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find this under skid steer tools. So it's got 750 litre capacity, and it's going to cost you 800 to buy. So the only option you got there is to change the colour. You can have it grey, red or black, entirely up to you. Obviously this goes on the front of your skid steer. Not that big on the capacity, mind you, but it's only a skid steer bucket, so you're not going to be able to lift too much anyway. So if you've got a little bit of a clean up on the go around your farm, this could be alright, this is. Right, next up we got the small flatbed trailer. This is by Mac Trucker 921, 14.51 megabyte on the download. And you're going to find this under low loaders. So it's 15.5 grand to buy as standard. You then got the options to change it from the flatbed up to a tipper body. And then if you've got the tipper body, you can also add a cover, yes or no. and then you can also change it to a log fork trailer. You then got wheels, brands and tyres, usual things on the go. Then you got the hitch configuration. You got flat frame with rear hitch, spin it around so you can have a little bit of a train on the go. Gooseneck with just the frame, gooseneck with the hitch on the back, and then back to flat frame. And we'll change the main colour, we'll go with a yellow. Change the base, the design colour, we'll go with red. We'll change the forks on that one. Then obviously the rim colour will change the rims. It's a bit bright, isn't it? Excellent. Obviously nice and cheap the trailer is. You start adding options, that puts the price up a little bit, but that's alright, that is. Right, next up we've got the Degelman ProTill 40. This is by FG Modding, 9.31 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find this under Disc Harrows. So it requires 615 horsepower from your tractor. That is top of the range on your tractor requirements. I must admit, that is huge power requirement. It's only got a 12 meter working width, so that's quite a lot of horsepower for a medium size equipment. Yeah, we'll go with medium size. And obviously it will run at 11 mile an hour, so there's no options, it comes as it is. So it's 108 grand, but 615 horsepower, that is really high. Alright, okay. If you've got a big tractor with that horsepower, then you're alright, so no problem. That being said, nicely detailed, looks alright. Right, next up is the Sweet Maker Sewer Pack. This is by Nicopix, 14.01 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it under the trailers. So you got the Sewer 840 and then the Sewer 720. So the Sewer 840 got a maximum of 54,000 litres, and the Sewer 720 a maximum of 48,500 litres. So these are going to take your usual forage crop style things in the back. So grass, sugarcane, silage, wood chip, straw, hay and chaff. So if we go into the 720, so you've got the options there, standard 45,000 litres. You can then change that with the extension to 48.5, and then change the tyre brands as usual on the shenanigans with that. And then in the 840 you change it from standard as 48,500 litres up to 54,000 litres, and obviously change the wheels as well. That's alright, that is. Looks like that back tips up though, so be careful under low roof buildings, because you might get caught on it. But that being said, alright. Right, next up we got the massive Ferguson 212 by Nico55, 8.70 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find this under trailers. So standard, it starts off at 15,000 litres, and that's going to cost you 14,800 to buy. You then got the option of 17,200 and then back to 15,000. So obviously on the smaller side of the trailers, but that being said, you know, not everyone can go with a massive trailer to start with. Nice and cheap. You're starting off on a farm, starting off on a role play or a let's play. That's alright, that is. Right, next up we got the Lizard RDMR 300. This is by Holtz FS, 3.66 megabyte, and you're going to find this under mowers. So it's going to require 100 horsepower from your tractor. It's got a 3.4 meter working width. 3.4. I know it's not 3, but it's not much bigger. Anyway, we'll carry on. 9 mile an hour working speed, and then you can change the colour for any one of those 4. Change the main parts of it. Obviously, again, you know, I know I go off on the 3 meter crew, but if you've got small areas you need to get worked on, yeah, they're all right. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's an all right mod. It is all right. I need to stop going on about 3 minutes. I know. I must admit, I do go on about it. But anyway, yeah, that's all right. That is. You got small fields to be getting cracking on with. Excellent. Right, next up we've got the Fendt B125 by AAA Modding, 4.11 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find this under plows. So this requires 80 horsepower from your tractor, and it's got a working width of 1.5 meters. So 3 meters is not small enough. We're going down to 1.5. So 3 meter takes ages. We're going even smaller. Oh, right. Carry on. It's got a 7 meter working speed, and then the options you got standard in the blue, and then we got the B125 brown, B125 green, and back to standard. Again, obviously it doesn't require a lot from your tractor, so if you got the older style tractors, this could be right. I mean, £9 nice and cheap. Yeah, get cracking. Right, next up we've got the Rake Bluebird 6000. This is by SMI Modding Team, 7.49 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find them under cultivators, because this has got two versions. You've got one that goes on the front of your tractor, and then one that goes on the back. So the one that goes on the front, 37.5 grand to buy, requires 170 horsepower and has a 6 meter working width and a 9 mile an hour working speed. You can then change the design colour to black. No, it was on black already. We'll change that to blue. We'll change the tines there for you. And then we'll go to the back one, which is a little bit cheaper, 35 grand. And that also requires 170 horsepower, 6 meter working width and 9 mile an hour working speed. But you can change it without roller or cage roller, and then back to without roller, and then the same again, change the colour of the tines. So obviously, you know, you can put it on the front, put it on the back. I mean, if you use the front one, then you can do your cultivating and have a seeder on the back and do 2 jobs in one pass. So that's excellent. Right, next up is the Lizard Field Bin. This is by Schleutches Modding, 4.47 megabyte on the download. And you're going to find this under auger trailers. Now, what you do with this is you fill it up, and then you take it to your field, and then you can use it as a little storage, a little mobile storage area for whatever you're doing. I mean, if we come there, you can see it'll take wheat, barley, oats, canola, sorghum, sunflower, soybean, corn, seed, and fertilizer. Now, to be honest, you're probably just going to use it for the seed and fertilizer, really, because once you're unloading your harvester, you're just going to put that in a trailer, really, though, aren't you? So the options you've got there are main colour. We'll change that to blue. We'll change the frame parts. The design colour, we'll put that as purple. We'll change the pipe out the back. And obviously rim colour, we'll change the rims. So starting off 24 grand, it's got 30,000 litre capacity, and it requires 110 horsepower from your tractor. So if that's the sort of thing you're into, you know, keep your seeder going, keep your fertilizer sprayer going whilst it's in the field, that's alright, that is. Right, next up is the Lizard Tandem 18T pack. This is by Hispano, 15.66 megabyte on the download, and there's 2 to this pack. So the first one we've got here is the trailer version, so you're going to find that under trailers. So it's got 20,500 litre capacity. You got the options there on your tyre brands like usual. You then got a couple of configurations, so normal hitch pin, low hitch ball, and then normal hitch pin. Then you got the option of a cover, no or yes. And then you can change the main colour. We'll go with red. The design colour, we'll go with blue. Changes the design elements. And then the rim colour obviously changes the rims. Now by the looks of that, you've got the grain door at the back, so you should be alright if you use that under low roofed buildings. Now the other option on that is if you go into auger wagons, and we'll scroll along to find it. There we are. So it adds an extra 5 grand to it. Same options apply, it just has the auger part on the back. Same capacity. Excellent. Obviously, you know, it's a different option, different style for you. Very nice indeed. Right, next up we got the Bergmann Shuttle series. This is by UFO361, 17.14 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find these under forage wagons. So you got these 2 here. You've got the Shuttle 450S and then the Shuttle 490S. So the 450 has got a 45,500 litre capacity and requires 240 horsepower from your tractor. and then the 490S has got a 49,500 litre capacity and 300 power requirement from your tractor. So we go into the 490 because the options are all the same on both. So you've got the usual thing with the tyre brands on the go. You can then have a cover, yes or no, and then you can also add a silage tank on the front, and we'll change the main colour from either white to grey. We'll change the side parts. Oh, that's alright, that is. I mean, this one's nearly 50,000 litre capacity, so you got some forage you need to pick up. This could be very nice indeed. Right, so our last mod for the day, this is the John Deere 6155M model year 2020. This is by Cayman. It's 40.60 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this under medium tractors. So the options we got there in the configuration, so you got standard. Oh, it's lost the configurations. Hold on, let's go back in. There we are. So standard, 360 kilo front weight, 560 kilo front weight, 760, 1010, a 3-point hitch, and then back to standard. And you've got the usual shenanigans on the go with the tyres. And you've got configuration, you've got standard, beacon light left, beacon light right, both beacon lights or nothing. Then you got the configuration again without GPS with the GS4640 and Starfire 6000, and then the GS4640 and SF6000 RTK, and then back to nothing. Obviously that doesn't mean a lot for us console players because we don't have the GPS mod, but we'll carry on anyway. Then front loader attacher, you got no, John Deere, Quickie, Hauer, and then no. Then the engine setup, you got the 6155M or you got the 6155M with Eco Shift. That doesn't change the power, so it comes as standard with a 172 horsepower engine and 24 mile an hour top speed. Right, so we'll start it up. The options you got on this, if you do LB and RB if you're on Xbox like me, then left stick left and right will open the back window. The LB and RB and right stick left and right will open the left door. LB and RB right stick up and down will open the right door. Excellent. Give it a toot and off we go. Obviously if you're a John Deere fan, this could be right up your street. Medium tractor, you know, it could be down the road of the one tractor fits all jobs with a front loader attachment. Excellent. Right, let's pull over, get out the road. So there you have it, that's your mods for today. I mean, drop it in the comments below which one you're thinking of using, which is your favourite. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, it's muchly appreciated. But for me, that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next one.